Hello, my friends. I'm going to share something with you that I do whenever I go into a learning experience, a new learning experience, especially things that I do, just a couple things I do to help with absorption of what I've learned so that I can use it to put it to action to shape my life however I want. So, first thing that I do, and this works with seminars, lectures, if you're reading a book, or whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter. And I like to go fly to exotic places. I love lectures and live seminars. That's kind of my thing. That's what I do mostly. But I watch videos too of lectures and live lectures. It's a lot of fun. So the first thing that I will do is I will put it in my mind to check all of my biases and my prejudices at the door. Now that can be extremely difficult to do. For some of us, more difficult than others. So to help with that, I will do my best to just forget about everything that I think I already know. Just forget about it. And go in there with a clean slate, a sponge, so that I can objectively learn what I'm being taught. Make sense? It's a very helpful little mind trick. So the next thing that I will do is I will always take copious notes. And when I'm taking those notes, I will highlight at least one thing each and every day of something that I can put into action and complete before my head hits the pillow that night. So there's a lot of really smart people out there who know a lot of things and they do nothing with it. And I like to call them intellectual masturbators. Don't be an intellectual masturbator. Intellectual derelict, I guess, would be a more PC way to put it, but it means the same thing, I guess. So making that commitment that you're going to put at least one thing into action, crystallize it by circling it, starring it, highlighting it, and then do it before your head hits the pillow, no matter what. That helps put into motion that you're going to take action, which is ultimately what shapes our lives and creates impact for better or for worse. So, and then if you do one thing, it's going to be easier to do the next thing and then the next thing because you're in motion. It just puts you in motion of being a doer rather than an intellectual masturbator. Okay, there's more enjoyable ways to, never mind, we'll get into that. So that's the other big thing that I do. So, and then afterwards, if there's audio for sale or whatever, I'll buy it, unless I don't, it wasn't that good. But if it was good, I'll buy it, because I need to, repetition is the mother of all kings, or is the mother of all learning, mother of all kings. So after the fact, I'll have my notes, I'll read over my notes again, and I will teach what I've learned. And teaching for me typically is I'll do a video and I'll just read over my notes, and I might ad-lib here and there as I'm digesting, because when you go to a learning experience like that, you just received all this information and it's too much. Even a smart person might retain about 10%. I probably retain about 2 or 3% of everything, especially the first time I hear something through that learning experience. So I have to go over it again a few times. I'll read my notes carefully after the fact, and I'll teach it, I'll read it out loud. Maybe I'll talk about it with some friends. You got all that information, so now you got to digest it, and that digestion and absorption happens as you're teaching it, reading over it, having conversations with friends about it, brainstorming, and also putting it into action. And even if you want to, sometimes if our body is in motion and we're doing something while we're going over it again, it can increase the learning absorption. And other times being still and just concentrate, and a mixture of those things. So sometimes my body will be in motion during different things as I'll listen to the audio, and then I'll have quiet times where I'm just focused on rereading it. And so those are different things you can do, all those things to digest after the fact. But during the experience of being there learning, all biases and prejudices checked at the door, forget everything that I think I already know, so that I can learn objectively without putting my own spin on it. I can put my own spin on it later after I learn objectively. So apply what you already know later, and then decide what you thought you knew that was maybe a bad idea that you need to refine or get rid of altogether, or replace bad ideas, or maybe you have a driving philosophy that was bad or just needs refinement. You can do all those things, but the first step, man, in my personal opinion, with good reason for it, is to just check all biases and prejudices at the door, forget everything that you think you already know, and just be a really excellent student. Every great teacher is first and foremost a great student. So, my things that I love learning about, by the way, are anything to do with natural health and financial freedom and things like that. So I go all over the place and I learn about these things because it's fun. And then I can share it with all of you in these videos and stuff. But I wanted to make at least one video where I talk about how I comprehend and eventually absorb because I need to do these things, or I'm not going to retain very much, and I need to put it into action. That's just what I do. Okay, and speaking of having a love for learning, like, first of all, you gotta have a love for learning. So if you do have a genuine love for learning and you like getting outside of what you already know, or whatever it is you think you know, and you want to expand and learn more, and you like health, natural health, and financial freedom and things like that, and you want to see the home business I've been doing for a great number of years, well over 10 years now, feel free to ask me about it. Happy to share a video presentation, and you can decide if it turns you on, if it gets you all giddy and you want to do it with me and my team. We'd be happy to include you on it. Just ask me for it, for your consideration. And share this video. There's probably at least 1 or 2 more people out there, or more, that love learning and maybe are frustrated that they don't retain as much as they'd like to. Well, these are some things that has worked really well for me over the past many years. And I think it's worked well just because of my track record. I don't need a job. I'm in excellent health. I'm over 40, and I'm on 0 medications. All my joints are spring-loaded. I'm in no pain, no aches, no pains, none of that stuff. And I'm actually more youthful in my performance and how I feel, my energy, than I was when I was in my 20s. So, and a lot of that is just based on what I've learned and how I comprehend and digest it. So for that reason, I think what I'm doing probably works pretty well. Maybe it'll work for you and some of your friends and family and someone that you might want to share this with. And I'll hear from some of you who contact me, who love learning, who want to go into business for yourself in the natural health and financial freedom world. So that's a lot of fun. All right, take care, everybody, and I will talk to you soon. Mwah! Make out kisses. There's the power button, right there. Okay. Oh, can you hear the water behind me? I just love the sound of water. It's just hypnotizing. All right. Bye for now.